Hey everyone, Tim here for another Tim Talk today. Sorry this one's getting out a little bit late. It is Christmas vacation right now, and so things have been a little bit crazy. I'm super sorry. But today I wanted to talk about something, I don't know, something that I think it's just a little bit more fun to think about than some of the previous things that we've talked about on Tim Talks. And this one is a really interesting economic principle. I'm studying economics right now. It's a really interesting economic principle that talks about how humans, we as people, respond to incentives, right? Let me give a quick example, and I think this illustrates it really well. So, in NASCAR, over the past decade or so, safety measures have gotten way better. In other words, the cars that NASCAR drivers drive are way safer than they were 10 years ago. But what's the interesting part of this? The number of deaths and the number of injuries in NASCAR has stayed about the same. This doesn't quite make sense when you first look at it. You know, safety measures go up, the number of deaths remains about the same. What exactly is going on here? The reason is because all of the NASCAR drivers know that their cars are safer. So what do? They drive more recklessly. Because really, it's not the level of safety that determines how many accidents there are. It's how risky someone is willing to be, right? And so all of these NASCAR drivers still have the same tolerance for risk that they did 10 years ago as they do today. So the number of deaths has stayed about the exact same because their incentives haven't changed at all. There's been no incentive for them to drive safer. They just have safer cars now, so they're driving more riskily. So the number of deaths is about the exact same. And so this is a really interesting concept because it's not something that we really think about a lot. When we want to help someone, when we want to make someone do something, oftentimes we will just make it easier for them to do that. We will change something that's not a part of the incentive for them, right? When we are thinking about something, when we want to change someone else's behavior, we need to really look at the incentive, like, right? What are they really looking for? What are they willing to give up? What are they willing to risk in the case of NASCAR drivers, right? If we want teenagers to be less risky, right? Like make fewer poor decisions. What do? We don't limit the number of poor decisions they can make because then they're just going to focus in on the ones that they can make and focus on that. No. The answer is to increase the consequences of risky decisions, right? So in other words, you're making the cost of making a risky decision way higher. And that will change incentives instead of just changing the outside circumstances in which you see this behavior happening. There is a fun economic principle for y'all today. Something to think about, to ponder, to maybe apply to your life so you can better understand why people do things. And if you look at it in life, this happens all the time, right? Go to a grocery store. Look at some things that a grocery store does. Look at coupons. Look at where they put candy bars in the aisle, right? Because it's all based on incentives. What do the people want instead of the circumstances around their decision? Anyway, I hope that made sense. It was just a quick one today. Introduce something pretty interesting for you guys. Have a wonderful Christmas and a very happy new year. Make sure, if this is your first time, thanks for joining us. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. There's a bunch of fun stuff. And as Ace, Alfred, Randall, and I get more geared up, this channel is just going to keep getting better and better. I'll see y'all next time.